Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom, where we plumb the depths of natural health and bring back only the most luminous pearls of insight. I'm Ethan Foster, your dedicated observer of all things human, at times bewildered, often bemused, but always ready to ask those questions that may or may not have answers. Joining me as always is my brilliant co-host, Ilara Sky.
I like how you describe me as brilliant, Ethan. Makes me sound like a diamond you'd find at a half-off clearance sale. But yes, I'm Ilara Sky, known for my quick wit, sharper opinions, and a refusal to let a good health misconception go unchallenged. Today, we're about to discuss the not-so-humble marigold flower. It's often seen decorating gardens and altars, but it has a starring role in our conversation on functional foods.
Marigolds. Let's be honest. When people think of marigolds, they probably imagine bright orange and yellow flowers perched on windowsills or in front yards, warding off the occasional stray rabbit. But apparently these plants are so much more than decorative. According to the research, marigolds come loaded with lutein, tocopherols, phytosterols, and I think I saw the word anti-nutrients pop up too, like an unwelcome plot twist.
Indeed, anti-nutrients, the health world's equivalent of those party guests who linger in the kitchen, snagging the last slice of pie while complaining about your choice of music. But we'll handle those troublemakers soon enough. Let's start with the positive attributes. Picture marigolds as tiny, bright health bombs that can offer major benefits for your eyes, immune system, and even your cardiovascular wellness. Some cultivars are more potent than others, which I find hilariously consistent with nature's sense of competition. It's like Mother Nature said, "Fine, I'll make some marigolds supercharged and watch horticulturists scramble to figure out which ones to plant."
I love that mental image, a cosmic reality show titled Marigold Wars, where a few standouts hog the spotlight. In the studies, the Superboy Orange and Durango Red varieties got the top billing for their high concentrations of carotenoids. So, if you ever find yourself in a garden center, you now have a reason to pick the flowers with the coolest names. Who wouldn't want something called Superboy in their yard?
Precisely. Superboy suggests it could leap tall free radicals in a single bound, right? These carotenoids, especially lutein, do wonders for your vision and help manage oxidative stress, among other benefits. So while the name might be comedic, the health perks are real. Meanwhile, Durango Red is equally no slouch in the antioxidant department. I imagine it strutting confidently around the garden, telling everyone else, "Step aside, I'm the top dog now."
The interesting part is that marigolds also contain phytosterols, like beta-sitosterol, that help with cholesterol absorption issues. Essentially, they block or reduce the body's uptake of cholesterol. So, for those determined to enjoy their daily indulgences with fewer negative consequences, marigolds might lend a helping hand. Although, if you keep inhaling tubs of ice cream, you may need more than marigolds to save you.
Let's be real. You can't force a flower to single-handedly rescue you from a triple chocolate meltdown. But marigolds could be an asset in your nutritional toolkit, especially if you're mindful about how you incorporate them. The data suggests that plant sterols, like those in marigolds, do a neat job of elbowing cholesterol aside in the digestive tract. It's like a polite but firm bouncer telling LDL cholesterol, "Sorry, buddy, this party's full. You gotta find somewhere else to loiter."
That's quite an image, tiny floral bouncers in your gut. Now, about those dreaded anti-nutrients. We're talking tannins, alkaloids, sometimes saponins, right? These can bind to minerals like calcium and iron, preventing absorption. Not exactly the highlight of any meal.
Absolutely. Think of tannins and alkaloids as the friend who insists on driving you home, but then refuses to start the car. They might have good intentions in some contexts, but overall, they can hold you back from getting the full benefit of your meal. The cool part is that traditional methods, like soaking, drying, or even fermenting, can reduce these compounds. It's the same principle behind many long-standing culinary traditions. People discover these processes by trial and error, realizing, hey, if we soak these petals, they taste better and don't make us feel robbed of nutrients.
And that's good news because it means we don't have to treat the marigold like it's some Teflon-coated hazard. We just need a little prep work. The study's authors even confirm that properly processed marigolds can be safe and beneficial to consume. If I ever told my neighbors that I'm fermenting marigolds for dinner, I'm sure I'd get some raised eyebrows, but hey, it's for science.
And for your health. Don't forget that. Now about those cultivars that are more like the VIP marigolds, the deeply colored ones. The ones with vibrant orange hues apparently have higher levels of carotenoids and flavonoids, so if you're picking them out, go for the deeper oranges or reds. That's basically a nutritional principle in many colorful fruits and vegetables. The more striking the color, the more potent the phytonutrient content. Marigolds prove that rule is still going strong.
Here's another tidbit I found fascinating. Some marigold cultivars have a ton of minerals: calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, stuff your body needs every day. The content varies, which I guess means not all marigolds are nutritionally created equal. It's a bit like walking into a produce aisle full of options. Some are organic, some are conventional, some are local, some are flown in from half a world away. You have to pick your battles.
Absolutely. And while we don't have a nifty USDA label for premium Lutein marigolds, we can glean from the research which ones stand out. If you see Superboy orange or Durango red seeds in a catalog, you might want to give them a try in your garden, or at least casually mention them at dinner parties to sound like the world's most cutting-edge horticulturalist.
Let me get this straight. If I add these petals to my diet, I could boost my lutein intake, a major factor for vision and cognitive health, plus get vitamin E from tocopherols, and maybe manage some cholesterol issues thanks to phytosterols. And if I do this with the proper cooking or soaking methods, I reduce the anti-nutrients that can hamper mineral absorption. Sounds like a lot from a flower we mostly use for decoration.
Nature is efficient, isn't it? Marigolds probably got tired of hearing, "Oh, pretty petals," and decided to up the ante with a massive nutritional arsenal. One thing to keep in mind, lutein is fat-soluble, so you want to pair marigolds with healthy fats, like ghee or grass-fed butter, if you're serious about maximizing absorption. That means if you're sprinkling marigold petals into your soup, consider adding a little butter at the end. If you're making a smoothie, include something with healthy fats. Otherwise, you might miss out on a lot of that lutein's potential.
I'm imagining an entire line of gourmet recipes. Marigold-infused butter, marigold pesto drizzle. And your guests ask, "Is that saffron?" And you casually respond, "No, my dear friend, it's marigold." You must not be keeping up with Dr. Mercola's cellular wisdom.
That's a next-level dinner party flex. Now, for the folks who can't or won't spend their weekends soaking flower petals, there might be marigold supplements. The research suggests these are especially good for lutein extraction. But if you're a do-it-yourself type, feel free to brew your own marigold tea or dry and crush the petals as a spice. And remember, a little fat helps them go a long way.
The next time someone says, "Stop and smell the flowers," I'll say, "No, I'll take them home, soak them, and eat them." Then we'll see who's practicing the real deeper appreciation for nature.
Let's pivot to some other edible flowers we might be ignoring, shall we? The conversation around marigolds is fantastic, but there are more blooms that can spruce up your plate, like chamomile, roses, jasmine, lavender, calendula, and pumpkin blossoms. Each of them offers its own set of health perks, from calming your nerves to antioxidant powers.
I've tried chamomile tea, obviously, but I'd never thought about it as more than a pre-bedtime relaxation ritual. Turns out it also has a track record of dealing with inflammation, menstrual disorders, and even wound healing. So not just for dozing off.
Chamomile is often recommended to help with sleep, but it's a multi-purpose little flower. It has been used in essential oils, cosmetic products, and to calm everything from a stressed mind to an upset gut. That said, if you have pollen allergies, tread lightly. Nobody wants an allergic meltdown when they're just trying to chill out.
Noted. Now, roses. More than just an overpriced symbol on February 14th. They're rich in antioxidants, especially polyphenols. You can make a caffeine-free rose petal tea. Imagine impressing your friends with an afternoon tea, so fancy it practically demands raised pinkies. You also get vitamins like C and minerals that help with digestion.
Roses can also smell sensational. Honestly, there's something indulgent about steeping rose petals in hot water. It's reminiscent of a spa day, but for your taste buds. Let's not forget jasmine, the queen of flowers. It's widely popular for its scent and is known to have benefits related to relaxation, mood enhancement, and even aphrodisiac properties. So if you're feeling adventurous, a cup of jasmine tea might liven up your day or night.
Lavender, another aromatic powerhouse. People use it for everything from sachets and drawers to stress relief. Studies suggest it helps with sleep, lowers pain, reduces inflammation, and might even have some antimicrobial or antiviral properties. And the color is so delightful you might just eat it up, which is precisely what some folks do.
Indeed, lavender's presence in cooking has been steadily rising. More and more chefs are adding a hint of lavender to desserts or teas. It's all about subtlety, though. Go overboard, and you might feel like you're munching on a bar of scented soap. But used wisely, it can add a gentle, floral note that pairs well with honey and lemon.
Now, let's clarify something. Calendula is sometimes called pot marigold, but it's not the same as the Tegetz genus marigolds we've been talking about. Calendula is also edible, loaded with flavonoids, and known for its antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. But it's a different plant. So, if someone tries to pass off their Tegetz marigolds as calendula, you might want to check the label again.
Calendula has a long history of use in wound care, skin salves, and teas. It's often confused with regular marigolds because of that pot marigold nickname. But do your homework. They share some qualities, but they aren't interchangeable in every respect. And since we're on the topic of confusion, let's talk pumpkin blossoms. People might see them in the garden and just let them fall off, but these blossoms are rich in folate, magnesium, carotene, choline, and more. Unfortunately, they don't last long, so you won't find them stacked like bell peppers at the grocery store.
Pumpkin blossoms are one of those seasonal delicacies best enjoyed if you grow your own pumpkins or have a farmer's market that stocks them. The short shelf life is a limiting factor, but if you catch them fresh, they can be delicious, especially fried or stuffed. And hey, that's another reason to get your hands a little dirty in the garden. It might be the only way you'll get them at peak freshness.
So now that we've turned this into a tour of edible flowers, let's circle back and emphasize how marigolds fit into this bigger picture of natural health. Their high lutein content can do wonders for your eyes, particularly beneficial in a world where everyone's glued to screens. The presence of tocopherols means you get a nice dose of vitamin E, which helps support immune function and reduce oxidative stress. And those phytosterols? Great news for folks who want a natural cholesterol-lowering strategy.
And let's not forget the overall antioxidant profile. Marigolds can help the body deal with free radicals, which are basically those rowdy molecules looking to cause mayhem. A strong antioxidant intake is crucial for longevity and for mitigating the cumulative damage that leads to chronic conditions. Pair that with the variety of minerals marigolds can offer: calcium, potassium, magnesium, and you have a pretty comprehensive nutritional package in a single bloom.
The catch, of course, is dealing with the anti-nutrients, tannins, alkaloids, and saponins. But as we've pointed out, soaking, drying, or light cooking can diminish their presence. It's a small trade-off for all the benefits you can glean. If you're aiming for maximum nutrient absorption, you might want to experiment with cooking methods or even some mild fermentation. And obviously, pairing them with healthy fats to enhance the bioavailability of fat-soluble nutrients like lutein is a no-brainer.
In essence, marigolds could be the poster child for how much we underestimate common plants. They're so often relegated to decorative status, when in fact, they have a track record in traditional medicine that modern science is now confirming. They've been used for skin treatments, digestive aid, eye support, you name it. It's always fascinating when cultural traditions get validated by lab reports.
Absolutely. It's like that old friend who's been giving you great advice for decades, only now you finally have official proof they know what they're talking about. Hey, I told you so, says the marigold. If you're looking to spice up your diet while aiming for better eye health, more antioxidants, and a natural approach to managing cholesterol, it's worth looking into marigolds. Just be prepared to answer the question, "You're eating flowers now?" from your more skeptical acquaintances.
I'm sure you'll have a delightful retort ready. Yes, indeed I am. Care to join me for some marigold tea and artisanal marigold butter? That should give them pause.
Before we wrap up, let's recap a few practical tips for anyone intrigued.
Number 1, choose the most vibrant marigold cultivars like Superboy Orange or Durango Red for higher lutein and carotenoid content. Number 2, if you see them in supplement form, great, but you can also try them fresh or dried. Number 3, remember to soak or lightly cook them to reduce anti-nutrients. Number 4, pair them with healthy fats like ghee or grass-fed butter to boost the absorption of all those fat-soluble goodies. Number 5, if you want even more variety, explore other edible flowers like chamomile, roses, jasmine, lavender, calendula, and pumpkin blossoms for a rounded approach to botanical nutrition.
On that note, I think we've given folks plenty to mull over. From marigold bouncers blocking cholesterol at the door to the joys of adding butter to your flour-infused meals, we've covered quite the range today.
We appreciate you joining us on Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Thanks for tuning in. We hope we've opened your eyes, quite literally, thanks to lutein, to the world of marigolds and other edible flowers. Remember, there's a whole garden out there waiting to be appreciated for more than just its looks.
Until next time, folks, keep exploring, keep learning, and maybe keep a small patch of marigolds nearby. You never know when you might need a flower that doubles as a nutritional powerhouse.
Exactly. Take care, everyone. And remember, if your dinner plate starts blooming, that's probably just us encouraging you to expand your culinary horizons. No cause for alarm.
We'll see you soon on the next episode of Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay curious, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.